this. As people start coming in, I'm just going to go over the agenda really quickly. We are going to talk about genetic cancer screening. I did do a video training that you can visit. I'll update it every now and then just because, as you guys know, things change frequently. And whenever I change the portal, I'll try to let you guys know as well. But basically, we're going to be talking about the genetic cancer screening, all of the content in the portal. We'll go over the handouts a bit. And then we're going to talk about the psychological testing, which we introduced a few weeks ago. I have all of the paperwork, the onboarding paperwork for that right now. There will be a little bit more content for you to read up a bit, hopefully by tomorrow or this weekend, that I'll put up in the sales portal as well. So basically, I guess we'll just get started with the portal here. So really quickly before we get into it, I want to point out that I've changed a bit of the paperwork for the lab. The lab that we're working with is a little bit, they're not taking doctors right at this moment, so we have our other lab as well. So I just changed the paperwork a bit while we're using this one. This one's really great. They're in network. There's an extensive in-network list, which I put in the portal as well. So these are all of your onboarding paperwork. I'm going to put up, let me see here, tomorrow I'm going to elaborate on these onboarding instructions so that instead of just showing the paperwork that we need, I'll take pictures of how to fill it out and everything, and I'll add those slides in here as well. So tomorrow or this weekend, it will have all of the information on how to fill out each and every one of these bits of paperwork for you. Okay. So we're going to talk about genetic cancer screening to start. I made a little video here for training. It's about 10 minutes. It's pretty quick. Once you watch that, if you have any questions, you can call myself or Fred or physician support, and they'll be able to help you. So for marketing, as far as marketing is concerned, this is what we suggest that you bring to the physician, just to let them know all of the different types of cancer screening that we have available. So you just put your name and your number and your email here. If you need help with that, if you don't have the software to change that, just let me know and I'll put it. And give me your credentials and I'll do that for you. All right, and then, oh, I'm sorry. I think that you're still seeing the agenda there. My apologies. So, sorry about that. Let me see. So I want to just go back really quickly to what I was talking about with the doctor onboarding instructions for the lab. Here you'll see I've done a little slideshow for you. Once I get all of the example paperwork for this, I'll insert it in here so that it's not just this picture. I'll have a picture for each one all filled out for you so that you understand exactly what we need and where. All right, so down here, cancer screening. Okay. I'm just seeing all these, everybody's telling me that they can't see the screen. So hopefully you can see it now. If you still can't see it, then let me know. But, so as I told you, the cancer screening video is right here, and I'll update that from time to time as we get new information. But this is basically what I want you guys to use, what we want you guys to use as a leave behind when you're first visiting. You put your name and your number and your email here. If you need help with that, as I just mentioned, just let me know and I can do that for you. These are if they specifically want to do breast and ovarian cancer, you can just leave them these behind. So here you'll also, instead of leaving our information, put your own so that they contact you so that we know that you're associated with that account. Okay, so this just gives them a bit of information on specifically BRCA1 and 2. The same thing for colorectal, familial melanoma, and so on. So if they have specific interests, then you can leave these behind for them. The doctor registration and onboarding. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so this is the sign-up sheet. So you just fill this out. We need the practice name, NPI, all of the regular things that you need. Same thing, put your name and your email so that we know that you're associated with the account. And the supply order form so that we know exactly what the doctor needs. So let us know the address of the practice, who they're shipping to, and what they need. If they only need the questionnaires and barcodes, and then let us know how many there. If they only need the shipping labels, let us know how many there. And then this talks about who's covered. So this is what the doctor will hand out to the patients to see if they're eligible for the genetic cancer screening. The patient will fill this out and then they will hand it in to the doctor, and then he will go through it with his physician checklist right here. And all of the information that he got from the patient he'll use to fill this out. And this is going to be sent with the test to show medical necessity. And then this is for the for Medicare patients. That's for what we just saw is for private insurance patients. This is for Medicare. And then this is just, these are all bits of information for you. So we have, I've had people ask me, what should I tell the doctor if they ask why they should choose our lab over anybody else's? So this is a nice little leave behind for you too. Lets them know what we excel in, why we're better, etc. This lets you know who to target. So basically here you know who can refer what tests. So dermatologists can refer these type of tests. OBGYNs can do these types, and so on. So that's a bit for your information. This is a workflow sheet. Just basically talks about the step-by-step. Okay, for your information. Requisition form exome. This is a requisition form for the hereditary cancer example. The doctor will get all of this for each patient with each testing kit. These are the ICD-10 codes for hereditary cancer. You can also leave this behind for the doctor so that he knows you know, how to code. This is how he's going to make his money, basically. This allows him to earn money for each test that he sends. The simplified hereditary report. So this is an example of the report that the physician gets. So also nice to keep in your binder so that you can show the physician what his report's going to look like. It's a great, easy to read report. Clearly says positive and established cancer predisposition was identified. So it's nice to be able to show that. And then we have the frequently asked questions here as of right now. Whenever you guys have questions, just send me an email and then I can add them, or whatever questions that you ask me during the webinars or ask us during the webinars, then we will put up on here too. So this is a great tool for you to use whenever you have any questions about anything. This is something that you can give to the doctor as well, or you can show him in your binder. So these are all basically just tools for you. An AutoScan, this is just a little bit of reading material for you so that you can understand a bit about what you're talking about. Billing, so this is how it goes for cash pay patients. Basically, a 94 gene panel will be around $5,000 for them. 2 gene test, the BRCA1 and 2 is around 2100, and then we have so on and so forth. So you can see, and you can give that to your doctor as well. Explanation of financial assistance. This basically just lays it out so that they know what they're going to be responsible for. Financial assistance application. So for patients who end up with a portion that's not covered by insurance, they can come up with a payment plan with the lab, not a problem at all. Very easy, and they don't really, and this is the part that the doctor needs to fill out for the financial assistance. All very easy. Let's see here. So the psychological testing, let me just make sure, let me just check and see if there's any questions about the cancer screening first. So the doc makes 2 to 5K or a percentage. No, the doctor makes only what he is reimbursed for with it's through coding. So whatever extra he gains through the next level up in coding, that's what he makes. I'm not sure what the average is. What do you think, Fred? What is the average for the next level up?
It really depends on a couple of things. First of all, good evening, guys. Glad to be able to talk to you once again. It depends on the coding, number one, but usually we're looking at a lab reading and the extra visit. So we're looking at roughly about $80 for the extra visit that they're going to be making to be able to get the results, and roughly around $60 that he's going to get extra for the next level up. Just in case, what you saw before with the 2K, 5K, and all that, that is what the lab gets reimbursed. Okay, it is not what the doctor makes. I want to be we want to be very, very clear on that, so you don't give false hopes to the doctor. Okay, this is what the lab is going to get reimbursed back from the insurance company, and this is where you as a representative are going to be making a percentage. Okay, the doctor does not get a percentage off that 2 to 5K, okay, or the 2,000 to 5,000. What we're trying to do is be very transparent with the doctors, because some of them, especially, and this is what's very, very different, guys. Doctors have been very nervous, especially with tox, because tox is something that is very good for the practice. It is a way to protect the practice, but at the same time, because of the representatives because of the patients getting bills, doctors were afraid of losing patients. So what we want to do is be very upfront with the doctors. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to make this very real and very simple. If somebody comes up to me and says, look, would you like a cancer test? This is going to cost roughly so much, your insurance would cover it. Okay, and if not, the lab will work with you, but you will never go to collections or anything like that. We're now talking about cancer. So anybody that's out there that has sort of this hereditary predisposition or any worry whatsoever, they're going to want to take the test, especially if their insurance is going to pick it up. Okay? With the medical monitoring, now that we call tox, it is very different. Okay? Because we were telling doctors, which is true, that they have to protect their practice. But at the same time, if a patient was getting a bill for $3,000 for a tox test, they were not too thrilled about it. Okay, it's much, much different. Okay, so again, what we want to do, I'm going to see the microphone once again to Nettie in a second. What we want to do is, I'm seeing all sorts of very good questions from you guys. We want to answer them, but we want this to be, because sometimes we answer something, and we've seen this quite a bit. We answer something and we get the same question on the next webinar, and sometimes even by the same person. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to create a frequently asked questions section for all the programs, including commissions, including everything else. So all the questions that you asked today, okay, what we're going to try to do is we only have an hour and we've already consumed 17 minutes of it. So what we want to do is go through all the material that we think is very, very important for you guys to be able to read, to be able to see, and all the questions that you come up with. We're going to put them into that frequently asked questions. That way you can always go, if it's commissions or if it's pay or something, you can always go there. If you don't see the answer there, you're more than welcome to call me or call Nettie. That won't be an issue whatsoever, or send us an email. Okay, you'll get your answer. One of the things that Nettie was saying, the whole idea is to be able to show the doctor all the material. But guys, let's be smart about this. If you start leaving behind things that have the name of the lab, the doctor might say, you know what, let me call the lab. I have a question here. Let me call the lab. And we're not sure the lab's not going to go, hey, doctor, sign up with us. And all of a sudden you have a doctor that signed up directly with the lab, and trying to get them back to show the lab that that doctor came from us will depend on the doctor. Okay? So let's be smart in what we leave behind. ICD-10 codes, showing them that we can help them, is showing them that we can help them. Look, doctor, this is what you're going to be getting from us once you sign up with us. Can you leave me a copy of that? Doctor, the idea is that you sign up first. Let's go ahead and fill out the paperwork. Okay? We are going to be working very closely with the doctors. The labs are going to be working very with the doctors, and they're going to be thrilled about it. They really, really are. Because now it's not just a call to us to find out an answer. They can call directly to a lab. And the other part, and I'll say this and I'll get out of the microphone, the other part is that if a doctor wants a specific test to be done, okay, that is not covered in what he's seeing, ask the doctor, okay, give me exactly what you want. I'm going to get in touch with MedTech, and more than likely we're going to be able to help you out. And that is true. We're not making this up just to get the doctor's interest. More than likely, we will be able to help them out. Okay, you have no idea how excited we are to be working with these labs. Nadia, all yours.
All right. Thank you, Fred. So so we're on to the psychological testing. So basically right now we have, this is going to be our flyer. And so if you want to leave this behind, you can just make sure that you put your name, your number, and your email address in down here, and so that when you leave it behind, that they can get in contact with you. And then this is the client service agreement. You're going to go through this with the physician as part of the paperwork. And BAA. Okay, so we have all the paperwork that we need for them right here, and the new client registration. And as I said, we'll be adding a bit more as we go to the portal. And I think last time we went through the Holter device, but let me just go through it one more time. So here's the sign-up form. Okay, so you just fax that to us. We have a flyer for you to leave behind with our number. And then we have instructions just so that this is not anything that you need to really know, but it's always nice to understand how things work when you're talking to somebody. So this is just so that you have an idea of how it works. Okay, and then the CPT and ICD-9 and ICD-10 codes. Oops. So let me see. I think we've basically gone over everything. I don't think that there's anything too new besides that. This lab training here, this was basically with the other paperwork, which will probably come back as well. But I'm gonna put the other training for this lab paperwork. Either I'll just put it right below it, and I'll try to label it a little bit better. But as of right now, it's just right on the front page here, doctor onboarding instructions. And then, as I said, I'll put pictures of how to fill out each of these. And basically what you want to do is you want to fill out as much as you can and then sort of go through and circle in red pen or something or highlight where the doctor needs to sign and like the information that you don't have, um, so that he's not, doctors hate filling out paperwork. You all know that. Um, and I don't know, that's basically, did you have anything else, Fred? I don't know if I'm missing anything.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about the halter and about the psychological test. Okay. First off, psychological test. This is something that's going to be very, very good for the physicians for two reasons. They don't have to, it is a turnkey solution. They're not buying a tablet. They're not getting any huge equipment. They're not getting anything like that. It's a tablet. It asks questions, okay, for the patient. As soon as the questions are asked, okay, and the person hits submit, that patient will take the tablet to the medical assistant, to the receptionist, whoever gave them the tablet. She will enter a code into that, submit, and she can right away give that same tablet to the next patient. So it's not something that they have to be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the test results to come in. This is immediate. Okay, so it's a tool that's going to be very beneficial for the doctor as far as he's going to be able to charge for these, and we're going to give him the codes and we're going to help him with the billing and everything else. But he's going to be making quite decent money. Memory doesn't fail me, we're talking anywhere from $150 to $250 per patient as ancillary income. And not only the income, but it actually helps them. Okay? The other part, same thing with the tablet. That doctor will be able to, let's say that somebody takes a test and they're depressed, okay, doctor talks to them, probably write the prescription, whatever the case may be, doctor gets to see them again, he will hand them the tablet once again. There will be a secondary test, there will be a third test, there will be a 10th test if need be, but he'll be able to bill every time a patient takes a test. And since when you're dealing especially with depression or things like that, usually there's no magical thing that where you take something today and that's it. So the doctor is going to retest you. That means he's getting that patient help, and at the same time he's being able to bill for that.
And Fred, this is
Okay,
all insurance reimbursements, correct? I want to make clear to
that is
everybody
correct.
that everything is through insurance reimbursements and how they code.
This is all insurance reimbursements. Okay, we give them the proper ICD codes so they can bill for this. Okay, and this is to get you in the door, guys. Okay, I think I've mentioned this before. The amount of money that you're going to be making out of this is $3 per test. Doctor does 10 tests a day, you made $30. Now, in that sense, okay, and this is very important, in that sense, uh, the doctor is making money, you're going to be making gas money, let's put it that way, but the doctor is now going to be very much more open to you to hear what else you have to offer. Because the money, the interesting money that you're going to be making is through the labs. Okay, I'm going to do very quick math once again. If you have two doctors, that between the two doctors, they do 5 tests a day. They can be tox or medical monitoring now. They can be DNA, they can be cancer, they can be allergy, blood, doesn't matter. 5 tests, one of each, every day to different patients. Okay, or 3 tests to one patient, doesn't matter. You get 5 tests every single day. That's 100 tests in a month. That's 200. That is, I'm sorry, 100 tests in a month. That means $200,000 is roughly, it might be a bit more, but let's go with the low figure, $200,000, which you're making 10%, which would mean that you're making already $20,000 on 2 doctors or 1 doctor, whatever the case may be. Okay? I believe I've already answered that question. And again, we're going to try, instead of going through the questions, we're going to put, because all these are excellent questions. As a matter of fact, even if you hear me answer a question, put it up on the screen. Okay? Because this is exactly what's going to help us with the frequently asked questions department. Because you got to remember, there are people that come in, there are people that don't, but if you have somewhere that you can actually go to in the portal and get your questions answered, or if there's a question that the doctor asks you and you don't know the answer, you can actually tell them, if you feel that you've heard something about that before, you can actually tell them, hold on, doctor, let me see if it's already in the frequently asked questions section. You're with your tablet, with your laptop, you log in, you go to a specific program that they're asking you the question for, more than likely you're going to find the answer there. Okay? So again, guys, use the halter, use the cancer to get in the door. Okay? They're going to like you, they're going to like what they're here, and everything else. And once they start making money on this, you can actually tell them, okay, doctor, you're doing very well. Now let's help your patients with these tests. Okay? And don't be afraid if somebody says, hey, I'm already using XYZ lab. Aha, doctor. How do you like them? Is everything good with them? More than likely, they're going to have issues. Trust me. There's a lot of labs out there that are not in network. Therefore, doctors are already having problems with their patients getting bills, getting sent into collection, all that good stuff.
Even if they
Because
are,
labs are,
sorry, I was going to say, even if they are
no, go
using
ahead.
a couple of different labs, then there might be, if they're doing toxicology and DNA or something, then you have a couple of other labs that you can offer them, and they could do that particular service um, instead of, if they're unwilling to change the labs, then you might be able to just get them to sign on for the additional services that they're not already offering. Sorry, Fred, please go ahead.
That's okay. Like Nettie said, if they're already using a particular lab, that lab might not be offering all the testing that we're offering at this moment. There are not that many labs out there that will do all the comprehensive testing that we're doing. Okay? So that's one thing that you have working for you. The amount of tests that we can offer right now is unreal. There's basically no reason whatsoever for a doctor not to sign up for the cancer, for the allergy. Okay? There really are not that many services out there. Okay? One thing that I do want to make clear, we are not putting an MA in the office. So let's not even go there. Okay? We don't want to do that. Depending on and this will be up to the lab, but depending on the amount, okay, of tests that they're doing, they're willing to put a phlebotomist in there. But that is working more than anything with the blood and with the allergy. Okay? So let's one step at a time. I wouldn't even mention that. Let's get the test coming in. Let's all start making money. Go ahead, Nettie.
Um, I'm not really sure that I had too much. Like I said before, I am constantly updating and changing this portal, so just make sure that you're checking it all the time. Um, Only print off a few things at a time if it's possible, just because, I mean, if you've been with us any amount of time or in this industry any amount of time, you know that in order to stay compliant and for other reasons, things change every once in a while. So sometimes the marketing materials will change a bit, etc. So Um, but yeah, I'm going to take all of your questions tonight and I will put them into frequently asked questions. I'll put them in their individual homes. So if it's questions about cancer screening, I'll put it in that document of frequently asked questions for psychological testing, etc. And then on and on as we continue signing up additional programs for you to offer in your portfolio. If you have any questions about what you should be keeping in your binder, you can also just let me know. I'll try to just label them. If you've noticed, I've tried to start labeling everything so that, well, not that one, but I've tried to start labeling everything so that you sort of have an idea as to what to do. So print these out to show or leave for an example. Here, these are for specific interests. This is to market all the tests. So I try to leave little notes letting you know what they're for. I'll also label them so that you know to put them in your binder as you're out visiting doctors so that you can show them examples and things. Um, like Fred was saying, just be careful what you leave behind. You can also, a good way to get their email is to let them know, I'd love to email you this information. I've got a bunch of other information for you to read, to look at. Email would be best, so that way you're able to also um, earn their email address as well, which is good. So basically, if you have any questions, just send us an email or give us a call, and we'll be happy to help you out. If you have anything that you'd like to see in the portal or anything like that, let me know. I'm always updating it. So, but basically, everybody keep on, I don't know, doing a good job. Let me see here. I don't think I have any more questions that I need to answer right now. I'll just go ahead and put them in the frequently asked questions. Oh, hold on. You mentioned that one of the labs was not working. Also, I believe that the cancer lab and the in-network are different. So the cancer lab is such an extensive, they've been doing a lot of research for many, many years. So all they do is they specifically do cancer screening, and they do an extensive list of cancer tests, as you can see here. So rather than just offering BRCA1 and 2, we can offer all of these tests. So these guys are leaders in the industry, and that's why we chose them to represent us for the cancer lab. It makes you much, much more marketable. It makes you much more ahead of the game. So that's why we chose a separate cancer lab in regards to laboratories. So the other lab represents, I mean, we have a couple of different labs, all in network. So basically we have options for the doctors. If one lab is unable to accommodate a certain test, then it can be sent on to another one, etc. Um, I hope that answered your question. And if not, I'll try to put it in writing um, so that you can look it up later. But go ahead.
Nettie, with your permission, I want to try and answer a question that is I'm seeing here. Okay, which is biosensor still in the works? Okay, let's let the cat out of the bag. We've at this point in time we stopped working with biosensor. Okay, why? Reality is that regretfully they got a little bit too big for their britches, and their billing, especially their billing department, became a mess. Okay, what does that mean? That the doctors were not happy with what they were receiving and what they were seeing. Okay, so all of a sudden, instead of biosensor trying to fix that problem, what they did was decide, hey, you know what, we're going to take doctors only that see a minimum of 50 patients a day. Okay, therefore we're going to guarantee ourselves X amount of tests a day. That way we're going to make money, and the doctor, it doesn't matter if the billing doesn't go through for most of his cases, but if the billing goes through for some of them, he'll be happy. Sorry, we don't work that way. Okay? So right now, biosensor is not in the works. Are we trying to get something similar going? Because we do believe it's a very, very good program. It's just that they became very disorganized, and regretfully, the person that they brought in to quote unquote organize things better is taking way too long, and to me, he's not doing things the right way. Okay, my personal opinion. So again, biosensor, no, it's not in the works. One more thing, guys. It is the 18th of February. A month has already gone by, a month and a half. Okay, we're going to make this a great year. We really are, for us and for all of you. Okay, the expectations that we have for these labs, the way that they are interested in working with the doctors, in actually helping the practices, is something that we had not seen before. And these are not small labs. They're just very, very professional, to the point that if a specific doctor wants to talk to somebody in the lab, we'll get that set up. So all his questions can be answered. Okay? So again, guys, we really are excited about what's coming up, about what we're going to be able to do, about the results we're already seeing. So please, don't hesitate. With this, all the issues that we had, all the problems that we had with the patients not knowing any better, with the doctor not knowing any better, we don't want that anymore. I believe we're one of the first people that are going to be able to tell the doctor, look, this might happen to your patients. Yes, if there's a copay, they will get a bill. That's reality. Okay, instead of trying to tell them, no, they're not going to get anything. Don't worry, doctor. Everything's going to be peachy. By law, they have to communicate with the patients. But these labs, they're the ones coming up saying, look, we're going to work with the patient. If there's a hardship letter that has to be written, we're going to help the patient with that. Okay? If the patient wants to pay $5 a month, we're going to work with the patient. And nobody is going to go to collections. They're not interested in that at all. That creates a bad relationship with the patient and at the same time with the doctor. Why would they want to alienate a doctor? Okay? So guys, it's going to be a hell of a year. That was my 2 cents, Eddie.
All right, great. Yeah, I just advise you to sort of go through the portal again, like I said. I've done a lot of work. I've put a lot of stuff in there. And I'm going to try to keep you guys as informed as possible so that you can, so you can speak a little bit more intelligently to the doctors about what you're offering. So if you have any requests about anything, let me know. I mean, there's just way too much information about it. I try to sort of take what is most important and compact that into something digestible for you. So if there's something else that you want to know, let me know, and I'll try to get that to you, and I'll try to get it up in the portal. But other than that, yeah, I think it's going to be a great year. We're all excited, and you should be too. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity. So just let us know. We're here to support you and help you in every way. And I guess that's about it. So everybody have a good night and let us know if you have any questions, and we'd be happy to help you.
For my part, guys, have a very good night, and I'm going to steal something from one of you. Okay? He has this on his answering machine. He has this on his literature, on his emails. The last thing that he puts there is always remember to smile. And it's true. When you walk into a doctor's office, when you're talking to somebody, always remember to smile. You'll light up their day. Take care, guys. Have a good night.